Hey everybody, we're on The Creators. I'm David Hawks, and we're out in Maple Ridge at the Arts Center out here. It's quite nice, and we're with 5440 today. I'm so happy to have you guys. It's great. Neil Osborne, Brad Merritt, Dave Genn, Matt Johnson. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for doing the show.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
And you guys have a double inductee thing coming up, ceremonies. How is that? Like, what are these things? Why are you so great? Why are you winning awards? What's going on?
So many questions.
So many questions.
Don't know.
Let's break that down. It's the Canadian Indie Awards, which we're getting an award, and then it's the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, which we're getting inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. And we're not even from Ontario.
You got that in.
I got that in.
That's great. It's quite an amazing thing because you've been together for so long, the two of you from 1981. Dave, you joined a little later, and Matt, you joined previous to Dave. But to be together in a band for so long and actually working on this body of work for such a long time, do you still get that big buzz from when the audience is cheering you and stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah,
keeps you going?
it's like you know, you take it out there with the crowd, and it becomes a new energy, a new thing. It's like, and it's fun, it's real. It's like being a pilot, and you got passengers, and you got to make sure, instead of getting them safely, you got to take them to the dangerous spots, hopefully.
I don't know if I've really seen a band really have the audience sing along as much as with you guys. Like, you guys have such a devout following, but it's like a love-in. Like, everyone knows every song, and you guys have so many songs that are just in the vernacular of your audience. It's really a different experience than when you might just go see a band, you know, 2 or 3 songs. What is the connectability about you guys? Why do you think you hit that mark so well?
Longevity.
Yeah, I think Dave's, you know, you keep doing it, and people keep coming back. I mean, there's that.
A lot of these songs were pretty big radio hits in their
I think the songs
time.
are catchy enough to be able to sing along to.
That's true too.
I do agree, radio is a big thing. Radio's been your lover for a long time, as it were.
No question.
One way to account for it could be that because the band has such a long career, records came out over a period of 30 years. So somebody who may have discovered the band in their teens when it might have been the 80s, stays with us through the 90s, into the new century, and grows with the band. Whereas at the same time, we have fans that are discovering us just now and go back into the catalog and get to know material from the past. Just when you've released as many records as we have as many albums, have as many singles, as many songs, people get to know them. We try very hard to give the audience what they want.
Yeah.
Everybody has their favorites. We can't play them every night, but
You play so many shows, it's unbelievable.
and we play long sets. It's
Yeah.
very hard to write a set for this band that's an hour and a half long.
I've literally seen a mother and a daughter there singing along to the same music. It's kind of a nice thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we've got fans younger than my kids, which is funny to me, but.
I remember playing when I was a DJ, I would mix into Blue Monday into Me Island because it was like around the same tempo.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys as being very alternative and almost punk. And you were playing a lot of the punky rooms, like the Buddha and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you guys have explored all of that history of music and rock. So now that you're here, you have a new record coming out. Are there any tricks yet you want to go back, or are there things you're going to pull out of from your careers and your lives, you know?
Well, as Dave was mentioning earlier, we like to dust off old tracks, and so we do come up with these ideas to try to recognize, you know, some of the material that we've done in the past that reflected a certain time and space and mindset, you know, and but we like moving forward, you know. So
We have a new record
Keep
coming
on
up.
Walking.
Keep on Walking, yeah. And so you're talking about, you know, how we have these different styles. This is a very eclectic record. I mean, it hits things and probably misses things as well, but it's been a lot of fun. And I think that's where our interests lie now too. We don't want to be this concentration of sound for a period of time. We want to sort of explore all these different things constantly.
reflection. I don't mind showing you your reflection. Look, it's not what you want, it is what you have, so have it. And I can tell that you are walking through hell. If you want to find peace, keep on walking. Keep on walking. Now it seems to me a simple thing for love, peace, and harmony. Find a breach, find a niche, find that place that you can breathe. I know you know what you need is tender-hearted bravery. Just give up what you believe, live in aching honesty. I can tell you are walking through hell. If you want to find peace, keep on walking. And I can tell that you are walking through hell. If you want to find peace, keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on walking.
Because I know we all kind of came from Vancouver. You've got your punk sensibility. There's an acidic thing going through your brains here, and in your music. I always think of you as a bit of a tough band.
Well, I mean, you
Does that
have
make
to,
sense?
But a fair band. Absolutely.
Tough and fair price.
Sure, we're tough, but we're fair too.
No, but you say things that matter. Like I was talking to another guy, and we were talking about the politics of music. Are people tough enough? Are they saying anything with with Trump in the White House? Isn't anyone angry anymore? I always think of you guys as a bit of a punk band.
yeah, I guess you'd have to define. I know what you mean. I don't know if they know what you mean. You know, punk nowadays is
Saying something.
Is no punk. Yeah, punk is a Vans shoes tour. You know,
Yeah.
it means nothing. That word right now. Back in Vancouver in the late '70s, early '80s, it was an attitude. It really didn't matter what you sounded like. It
Yeah.
was more your attitude.
Yep.
And you know, it meant that you, whatever you did, you couldn't play a real place.
Right.
It would be a hall or an after
Booze
hours,
can.
a booze can, a speakeasy type thing. So that was sort of the attitude. You know, you had kind of a chip on your shoulder, but for a good reason.
I don't think you can ever shake your initial influences. I mean, 5440's initial influences when the band started, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, was very much British post-punk.
Yeah.
And
Killing Joke,
Yeah, very much so.
Stranglers,
King
yeah,
of Four.
Gang of Four.
King of Four.
Yeah.
so can you ever shake those? If you're trying to make a pop song, you still kind of, those things are still in you,
Right.
whether you like it or not, whether you're shaking them or not.
Back in the day when you were discovering your music, was there a thing in you that you knew you were an artist, or wanted to follow the punk sensibilities, or did you feel different in any way when you were starting?
For me, music kind of defined, even when I was a child, like, you know, growing up, having my transistor radio in my head, whether I was on the bus walking to school. So it was just music. Music was always walking alongside me, you know. And And then the chance to play was just, just seemed like, well, I think that's, this is something I can probably do. And the punk rock thing blasted those doors open because it became, anyone can get up on stage. I didn't have to be Neil Peart.
Dave, what about you? Did you know when you were a kid?
I started playing music very young, like piano at 6 years old and guitar at 8. And by the time I was about 10, I realized that I could do something that the other kids couldn't do. Not everybody took piano lessons like they do now. You see so many kids take piano lessons. Everybody knows the value of teaching music to kids at an early age. Mm-hmm. Not so much in the 70s. By the time I got into high school, it was something that really defined me. I felt that just as in high school, when you're a teenager anyway, music defines you. What you listen to defines your peers.
It gets cliquey.
It gets cliquey, and it gets cliquey over music.
So you recognize in yourself that you want to do your music as a young person.
Yeah, and I had very supportive parents as well, who really nurtured it in me.
Makes a difference. Brad?
Well, I was always open, loved art, loved music, and never had any idea I'd be here with these three other gentlemen and you talking about me being part of something which is musical. And nothing would have happened that way if two things hadn't happened. One is punk rock hadn't come along, I wouldn't be here, and if Neil hadn't come along. So those two things together.
Hop along Neil. Yeah.
Hop along
The
Neil.
longest surviving member is a...
Yeah, well, we started this thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
36 years ago.
So when you found Neil, do you think that was really a catalyst for you to decide that that's what you wanted to do?
I recognized something in him. Yeah,
Really?
Almost immediately.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you recognize it in him?
Who, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just knew right away, like you were kind of like Bernard Sumner and Peter Hook meeting together and starting Joy Division or something.
Sure, very much like
something
that.
like that.
Absolutely.
You just kind of
same, yeah.
common ground.
Yep, common ground. There was differences, which we worked out over a few years, which were very tense, which was part of the whole process.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah. There's none now.
I don't think a lot of people remember the 80s. Truly.
I remember
Some of it.
So that's kind of where I came from, just be open to possibilities. And then as Matt was saying, when punk rock came along, it's like anybody could get up there. Well, geez, I want to do that. This is a guy, and we got together and started doing that.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Neil, finally, we got to hear from Neil Osborne.
Yeah. Creating something, creativity, it's cool, right? Because you take nothing, and you put some ideas together and you express it, whether you're writing, whether you're painting, whether it's music, right? And all of a sudden, you make something. And then when you add in a partner to do that with, and then some people to play it in front of, it becomes even bigger.
Right.
Those are all creations as well. And what happens is you get bigger as a person.
Right.
Very addictive, you know. And I was actually seeing David Bowie on Saturday Night Live, I think, during, what was it, Lodger, one of those records.
Wow.
And I'd already started playing music and being really into it, but then realizing that there's a guy that can create and do whatever he wants. In other words, those are his ideas, his creations, his way of expressing it. Yeah. It's not some director telling him what to do, and he's not a side guy or whatever, you know what I mean? He's doing it.
He's in control of all of it.
And for some reason I thought at the time that you could do that for a very long time.
Shamelessly, David Bowie's my hero, I have to say.
Yeah, you know what, he's not my hero. I mean,
everything.
I had probably 3 David Bowie records. Yeah. And my dog's named Bowie, but other than that.
And my dog's name's Bowie.
Okay, well, that actually,
Other than that, I'm not a fan.
that's right. How are you going to redefine and reinvent yourself now that you've got, these accolades coming your way? Do you think there's ability there for you to reinvent yourselves that much dramatically, or do you want to even?
Writing material, releasing new music is exactly that in itself. Right. As long as we don't just start playing the circuit and playing the old hits without releasing new records, without making new music, writing new music, then we are reinventing ourselves with every new record.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that word, reinventing.
Take it off your website.
I didn't even know we had a website, to be quite honest with you. I've never seen it, but not in a few years anyway. Dare we call ourselves artists, but what keeps us that way is the fact that every couple of years, 2 or 3 years, we have this urge to make a record. We like to think that we've synthesized the experiences we've had together and with the world and growing, and this is the output that comes from that, right? This is 5440's version of 2017, having lived through 2012 to 2017 or whatever from 1980. Here you go, here we go, and here it goes. So, that is, I don't know if that's reinventing, but that's still part of the creative process. We need to do that just to,
Yeah, needs the right word.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you feel you have to get it out?
poop it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
But it's also fuel.
Right. Is it kind of difficult to be a creative person all the time?
I think it's at any level, yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely full of self-reflection and self-doubt. And when something defines you like that, and you throw it out there for people to have an opinion about, yeah, it can be very, very difficult.
It's also a business. We're also entertainers.
Yeah.
We have to, does it connect? And then all the other hats that we got to put on, like interviews,
Interviews, press.
covers, videos,
Right.
all that sort of stuff that is in service to this thing that really we already did. We tend to, if you really get into the details, and I know you've been with this band for a heck of a long time, we from the inside have noticed that we've reacted against whatever we've created.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is refreshing.
On
Thank you.
some level. And it's if it's success, we react against that. If it's not success, we react against that.
Right.
It's just that's part of, I guess, the creative process. I don't know.
I had to mention, because you have such a great crew that you take with you, your light guy, Don, for example, and Alan, your manager, your agent, things like that. It's really a beautiful team that you've assembled, and you do so many shows. It must be great to have a family with you when you're doing your things, because let's face it, they're pretty much family in a way, aren't they?
I can tell you the one story where I was playing a songwriter circle, and I forgot to plug my guitar in, because I never plug my guitar in.
Well, it's unplugged.
And I'm like, it's not working. And they're like, you didn't plug it in. It's like, oh yeah, because I hadn't done that in years.
Wow. Wow. Ah, showbiz.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? We got to get going here, because you got to do some sound check. You're doing another show. I hope we can talk again. And I just want to wrap this up. And it's just kind of a general question. I don't know who can speak to this. But are you happy? You've come all this way in your careers now. You're together doing this thing. Are you happy? Like I hope you are, but are you fulfilled?
Personally, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely happy.
Look at him.
Yeah, I'm
just look at that happy.
I'm really happy. Fulfilled. I don't know if fulfilled.
That might be good.
Yeah, but happy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Neil?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think with Brad, we could stand, I think, to be a little bit busier, a little more challenged. Maybe sometimes we take it a little for granted, but once we're up on stage, I think we get off stage realizing, wow, we're still doing this. This is amazing.
I am happy. I feel very fortunate to still be doing this, and I think that one thing you recognize when you've been doing this a long time is that as you see your peers drop off and give up, maybe they didn't get the right breaks, or maybe they weren't lucky, they weren't in the right place at the right time. You realize that there are elements of luck in this business, elements of timing. I don't like the word luck, but just doing the right thing at the right time. And
having a sense of humor helps.
Oh yeah.
Having a sense of humor is essential.
It's essential.
So yeah, I feel fortunate. But on the other hand, I'll also say that part of the creative process is discontent. Part of the creative process is like wanting more. And needing to create.
And I'm with Dave. I feel very fortunate, and when we get off the plane and take the taxi to the hotel, we check in, we're all like, okay, the lounge in 5 minutes,
Yeah, we
get
still
down
hang out
and
together,
we-
which
That's
is very
good.
weird.
Oh, that's fun.
We have
That's great.
we enjoy each other's company. We have a great hang, and then we have an ability to really kind of unite for a common goal. and that kind of keeps us all tied together. So, and there's so much pleasure, you know, from playing these shows, hanging out with these guys, and
Well, I can't
doing
imagine.
interviews. So these are my favorite.
Yeah, the interviews with bright white lights in your face.
Well, I can't
Great.
imagine anything more beautiful than hanging with your best mates making music. It must be great. So, thank you so much for doing this. And I you know, like you said, I've been with this band for a long time as a supporter, and I can't tell you how happy I am that you're still together and creating music. I think it's wonderful as a fan, but also that you're getting honored with these inductees
That is nice,
this month.
yeah.
And congratulations. Thank you so much for sitting with me today.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks.
Cool.
Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Every time I look at you, I go blind. In the morning I get up and I try to feel alive, but I can't. Every time I look at you, I go blind. I don't know what it is, something in me, you just won't give it a chance. No way. I think it's that I feel more confused by the deal love has shown me. Little child